fantastic, it's pumping iron!
N.Y.P.D. The Police Stories of Dave and Frank Simpson by Markus Waldow.
Well, hello world. I hope you guys enjoyed the block with NYPD Police Stories of Dave and Frank Simpson, episode 5, Faithheart. It's a long title, but I think it was a very fun, inspirational project, I should say, for one main reason. A lot of people out there, one of your things that I read on Film Freeway, Marcus, was the idea that you had very limited equipment and you just went out and made things happen. And a big thing between, about our film festival is we reach out to dreamers that are making it happen, because too frequently people believe that you need certain cameras, certain teams of professionals per se, in order to make projects happen. And you went forth and did it. But before I, gas you up and fill you up with all these compliments, I want you to introduce yourself, let the world know who you are, what you did for this production behind the scenes, as well as in front of the camera.
Well, what I can say, I would say that I love to watch movies since I was a kid. And I think at one time in my life, I got to, too tired to just watch movies. I wanted to make movies. And when I was, I think, around 17 years old, my father bought a camera. And so I started to play scenes from movies with a German dubbing. So it was more like a lip acting, what I did. And that's how I got into it. When I was living in Thailand for almost 8 years, I got paid to do this stuff. I worked as an extra, feature extra, support main model, voiceover talent, and all the stuff. And I'm back in Germany now over 6 years, and I don't do this anymore for money. I just do it for fun. So that's how I've created the series NYPD.
Okay. So tell me, what made you want to create this series in particular?
Well, it's kind of a funny story. When in 2019 I got fired from my job, for my daytime job, for my full-time job, and it was a Friday, and on Saturday my father went out shopping, so I went out with him together, and I saw this baseball cap NYPD in the supermarket, and something inside of me said, like, buy it, maybe you can do something with it. And a long time I didn't play anything in front of a camera, so I went back home. I took a nap, and some voice in me said, like, wake up, drink 2 beers, open the camera, and start to play something. So that's how I have started to create these characters from Dave and Frank Simpson. That's how.
Wow.
How it has
you know what
started.
though? It's kind of funny that you say that, because I speak to a bunch of different filmmakers, and it's always a weird scenario how they come up with their ideas. I know a guy who his best ideas come from when he's in the bathroom. I don't know what it is, but his best ideas come when he's in the bathroom. But at the same time, at the same time, with you creating this concept, it seemed like it came at the right time in your life. At a low point, you found something that, from your childhood and on, that brought you much joy with filmmaking and the love for art. And it kind of, now you're doing it and you're continuing with various other episodes. So I guess this is, it was like a saving grace, per se. During this time, I can imagine it being a little challenging to put all the pieces together. What was the most challenging part?
maybe to find the characters in the beginning, because like I said, I just woke up and opened the camera, and then yeah, I don't know. I just got the baseball cap and then the T-shirt, and I thought like maybe I can do it like this actor did it or this actor did it, and I've put like pieces from different actors together. For example, with Dave Simpson, I thought like a little bit about from Dumb and Dumber, Jeff Daniels, about his character a little bit. And so I took a little bit from him, and maybe Frank. I took a little bit from my father, how he is like more the pessimistic guy, you know, not the positive guy. The yeah, like Dave is like the opposite of Frank. Actually, you don't see it in the scene because they are not in the scene, but it's like a part of the final scene, what you can see in the final movie.
Yeah,
it's not finished yet. But it will be this year. Yeah,
that's good. That's good to know. For the viewers that want to continue following, that was actually, you brought up another thing, because in your production of what you originally, created, was this what you ultimately intended, or after post-production and editing it together, you created something entirely different?
I think it comes. I mean, I didn't. For example, when I started to shooting the first episode, I didn't thought about like I would make like 5 episodes from it. It came after another thing and another thing and another thing. So yeah, the ideas came on, and my series is like an action comedy parody movie. So I take something from other movies and make it a little bit more funny, like the original ones, so that the audience can enjoy it. I think, for example, when you feel down, for me is it's like this. When you feel down, you like to watch a comedy movie or action comedy movie because it makes you feel better after you watch the movie, and that's what I try to do with this series. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That was my initial reaction when I first seen some of the material from this series. I was like, this is really funny. It strikes a nerve. I really enjoyed it. Before we actually got on here, you and I were talking, you're like, how did you find me? Like this, how did you find a filmmaker from Germany randomly? I'm like, I'm in all different, as a festival, we don't just, do the simple things like going through Film Freeway. We scout out films a lot of times. And I happened to come across one of your projects publicly, and I was like, this guy's got some talent, and you shows
Thank you.
that you're willing to go outside the box, think outside the box, and quirky lines. There's a lot of quirky lines throughout this series, and I think it's very enjoyable. And
But that's really good to hear from me. Thank you very much, Charles. That's
thank you.
very good.
So that you have a unique part in this, because there's a few different myself, and I can speak for myself because I'm a director, writer, actor, and I act what I direct. But how do you do it? Because everybody does it differently. I'm crazy. I guess I got a split personality. How do you differentiate directing yourself in front of people, like, keeping the whole thing together? What do you do in this process to balance that?
I think I drink a beer before. It makes me more relaxed. That's what. No, I mean, I think, yeah. Well, when I do the scene, when I act the scene, and when I direct, I can switch from one role to another role because I have so many characters, like I say, in my soul. And when I give directions, I do it as myself. But when I act, I keep I still have it. I still have it in me, the character. I don't know how to say it differently. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I mean, a lot of times for me, it's a selfish thing. I have the vision in my head of what I want the project to be, and I could hire somebody else or have somebody else volunteer to do that I guess, that title, but I know what I want out of the project.
Exactly. And that's why the directing stuff actually is you should do it when you have an idea for a movie. You should or you should write the script, you should direct, and maybe you should act in this one too, because you know what you want on the camera. You know what you want that the audience can see. I think so.
What did you do for the casting process there? Did you just reach out to people you knew that would be interested in doing it, or you like what happened?
No, yeah, like you said, just people I knew, because the thing is, or the sad thing is, everybody of my family, they love movies, but they don't like really to act in movies or to work on movies, to do a movie. So they like the finished project. They like to watch it and then to say, oh, that was good, that was bad, blah 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 blah. And what I can say, I'm different. So I took the people like my brother or my wife, and asked her to do the stuff with me. And I didn't really had like a casting call for this one, because no one really liked to do this with me. But maybe this will change in time.
I believe it will change in time. Let me tell you something. The way things started, from a lot of perspectives of different filmmakers, they do what they can in the beginning. They get people in roles that they trust, whether they're their friends or their family members, and they put them in stuff. I can't tell you how many projects I film in my house, different scenes. My editor I've used for the last few films, and she's like, Charles, I think you need to do one of two things. She's like, either you start painting your walls different colors and putting up different curtains, or film somewhere else, because you're double, triple dipping. And the same thing goes with some of the actors. Like I found a trusted group of people that are friends that I believe in to do the roles. And over time, I'm like, you're casting them as different things. But once that those films started getting some traction and people started liking the work, you start getting other people wanting to volunteer their time or reach out. And I truly believe that's going to happen for you as well, that more people are going to be like, they're going to take what you're doing seriously, so that they want to be a part of it. Because the one thing about actors, I love them, I'm an actor myself, they don't want to be in projects that they don't believe are going to do anything. You're going to film this project in some guy's house, and then they worry that, are you going to put it in festivals? Are you going to
exactly
distribute it? And now things are so much easier than they were before. I mean, when I was a kid, which wasn't too many years ago, YouTube was just starting and stuff like that. But the idea that we have social media and there's self-distribution channels that people use now, you can find casting groups online. I mean, the world's a different place, and it's inspirational. Like I said, when I found you and then I, looked you up through Film Freeway, and I'm like, this guy had a limited resources to do what he had to do, and he made it happen. And filmmakers from all over the world this year, especially with COVID and everything that's happened over the past few years, they made films using their cell phones. They made films, in their homes, whatever way they could, to tell their story. And that's one of the things that's inspirational, that I want more people to stop, being afraid to get things done. And, if you got to cast mom and dad, sister, brother, whatever else, get them in there. As long as you get your story told, that's what matters.
Yeah.
Without giving away too much, what's next for Dave and Frank Simpson's journey?
In this movie, or
like beyond? Because the audience knows this is a series, so they're curious what's going to happen next.
It would be very cool if the whole movie could play on the big screen, and if the shooting could be really in New York City with some famous actors in small parts and me as the main role. That would be very cool. You could, yeah, you could continue the story. I mean, I have a cliffhanger in the fifth episode, but it's not about Dave and Frank. It's more about El Jefe, the bad guy you can see in the scene. And well, let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, it keeps it open. I mean, it's optimism. You're bringing the bar up high, which is great. Um, you know, filming in New York City is always a dream for a lot of filmmakers, and it's not too far fetched to get somebody.
Yeah.
You know, it just sometimes you just gotta beyond money. You gotta just get them to believe in what you're trying to
Yeah, of
sell.
course.
You know, believe in your work. And one of the big things that a lot of these actors or even teams like to see is your project in festivals, that you're not just shelving stuff just for YouTube's sake. You know, a lot of filmmakers are solely YouTube filmmakers. And the sad part is there's so many talented YouTubers out there.
Yeah.
Or YouTube filmmakers. But once your project is released, a lot of film festivals, they have like you know, special premieres where it has to be either a local premiere or a global premiere, and once it's, you know, released online, it kind of deads it at times.
Right.
So that's something that you might want to do in the future before you go public with your projects.
That's why I didn't upload any scene of the fifth episode. So you have the first one on your festival, and I think now already like around 95 minutes movie with the final scene. It will be around like 120 minutes. But there's no scene because of this, what you said, on YouTube, because I would like that it comes on the film festival and that people can see it. And well, like I said, let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's a good. I think that's a good. I think like I said, YouTube is and you know, I'm not trying to have anyone copyright or whatever like bash me for saying this, but I think that, you know, filmmakers should try with the film festival circuit, get into a few festivals, and then if you want, then put it on YouTube, because at least, you know, now you have some like notches in your belt. And you know, YouTube there's so much content on there, it's like hard to differentiate. But at least, you know, you have you know, people that backed your film in a way. Looking back on your film, you know, you looking back on your project, whether it's something that you wrote, whether it's the way you directed something, even the way you may have acted, is there anything that you would do differently looking back?
Well, maybe I would use a hair wig and not let grow my hair, you know, because I have started the fifth episode in 2019. Scene by scene, you can see how the hair grows over the characters. So for some characters, I think the shorter hair looks better as a long hair. So maybe I would have used a wig for some characters.
That's good to know. It's relatable, I'll tell you that. I had a film where I had a beard, and, you know, we were filming out of, you know, a lot of people that aren't in filmmaking don't understand that a lot of times you don't film chronologically. You know, you might film the end of the movie in the middle of your shoot.
Yeah.
And I had a gruely beard, and it's actually opening night. Some of the audience that will pick stuff out, be like, this guy, he should have trimmed his beard a certain way. He should have like measured it, you know. But it's interesting. All the continuity in film is extremely important. That's why you want to have someone on your set looking into all the things that you can't look into. And thank God for script supervisors, and thank God for continuity people, because little things like, you know, an off-color white shirt will throw someone off if it's from one scene to the next. Or if you're fair-skinned like me and you get sunburn from day to day.
Yeah. I had this experience too.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. So what advice would you give to people who are looking to get into filmmaking but don't know how to start?
Oh, well, it's a good question. I'm not sure I know this. Let's say, well, maybe start out like I did, do some scenes, some acts with your own camera, with even like you said, with a mobile phone or something like this. Try to write a small story and then play it, watch it again and again and again, see what was good, what wasn't good, and try it again. I think like this.
Practice makes perfect. I like that, and you
Yeah.
got to try. You got to be in it to win it, So what is next for you, as a filmmaker? I know you have a lot of what you're doing now. Like, what else are you up to?
Well, when I have cut to and edit to the movie, by the way, I don't like it. I never liked this. I always have hated to cut and edit a movie, because the thing is, like, when I shooting a scene, I have this with my small camera. I don't watch the scenes until in the evening when I'm back home. So maybe then I play the scenes again, and then I have to watch them again over and over again and cut them. And I really don't like to edit a movie. But when I did it for N.Y.P.D, and I did some trailers, I have the trailer music already, I think, in my head. I think I would like to write a screenplay, like I wrote you before, maybe for a story play in New York or Philadelphia. I don't know, an underdog story. That would be cool, I think.
It's so amazing that filmmakers from overseas, they want to film stuff here in the United States. I find it amazing.
Yeah.
And a lot of us filmmakers here in the United States, we want to film overseas. We want to go to Germany or wherever. Right now you're in Germany, right?
Because it's different, it's, yeah, I think that's why.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It
And
looks
that's
different.
it's exciting because it's filmmakers from all over the world are connecting, and they're discussing their projects. And a lot of our challenges or most exciting moments on set are similar. A lot of the things that we deal with are similar circumstances. From this production alone that you did, what is one of your most memorable experiences on set?
Memorable. Let me see. I don't know. Maybe the day when it has started to snow, when we started shooting without snow, and then it has started to snow outside. That was actually very bad.
Was it memorable for the reasons, like a happy memory? Because that doesn't, like, people don't know that weather when shooting is like a nightmare.
The thing is, for the last scene, the final fight, I had to, I had actually only time at the weekend, like Saturdays, when I could shoot the movie, because on the week I was working, and my brothers, they was rebuilding the house and the stuff. So I'm shooting the scene in the garden. So every week, when I got to the set with all the stuff packed full in the car, and I'm ready to shoot, and then it had started to rain, for example, or start to snow. That was really terrible, because then I had to put everything back and then drive back home, and then next week. So that was really bad in the winter time. Yeah, I think that.
Yeah. Beyond that, and the continuity, the equipment getting, I've had filmmakers literally tell me right out, like, dude, I'm not going out there in the rain. Just letting you know. Like, if it rains, I walk. And like, but there's all these people here, like, that commuted to this destination. Yeah, but they don't care. And I understand that. That's why, you got to look into all those. The little things are sometimes the most important. The weather and, the safety of your actors. And, with something like this as action, you guys did your own stunts, and,
Yeah. small stunts.
Yeah, small stunts. But I'm sure, like in your mind, you're like, you know, I could see where we can go with this, you know, in the future. But it's awesome. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for what's to come for this story. And like I said from the beginning, the inspiration that you went and did it, and you did it with limited resources, and you're continuing to do it, and you're growing, and that's the most exciting stuff. And you know, for anybody out there who enjoyed this project, I urge you now to go out and vote. On our website, Catskill International Film Festival, we have a whole list of different award categories that Marcus, you may feel deserves to win. So make sure you guys vote for N.Y.P.D. And I don't know, Marcus, you got anything else you'd like to say and get off your chest before we let the world know?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I would like. I don't know. If Sylvester Stallone sees this, please let me know if you do another Rocky movie.
Awesome. All right, Marcus, you have a great night over there. Get some rest. People that don't know, he's in Germany right now. I'm in New York. There's a few hour delay. This is like what, 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
That's dedication, people. Dedication. We love it here at Catskill International Film Festival. All right, Marcus, you have a great night.
You too.